Welcome to episode 208 of the DORKLAIR Collecting Podcast. Today we're going to talk about Mythic Legions All-Stars 6 and other Mythic Legions news. We're going to talk about May the 4th and some Star Wars news and a few other things, some Super7 news, hot toys, and a few other little bits and pieces. Chris could not make it here. With me, as always, is my co-host, and today we are welcoming back a regular recurring guest host, Trevor Williams, aka 1-6 Shooter. What's going on, guys?
Well, we had to have Trevor on here because if you're going to do a Mythic Legions deep dive, I'm not going to be any good for very much except for the occasional, that's cool, and ain't I pretty?
And Rhaegar wasn't in the list, right?
That's dude. I was telling Steph asked me tonight. She goes, "What's the topic tonight?" And I said, "Oh, we're going to be talking about Mythic Legions All Star." And she goes, "What is that?" And I was explaining to her how it works. And I said, "And the one figure I've always wanted them to do," and I'm telling her about it and showing it to her. And she's like, "Oh, that's really cool." She goes, "Let me guess, it's not in the voting." I said, "It's never in the voting. They're never going to give me that figure."
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm really surprised.
No, it's. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's someone there who remembers me complaining about Matty Collector back in the early Classics days, and they just want to see me squirm.
Yes, I'm sure it's personally vindictive against you.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a good week. I had a pile of loot ship, and I'm gonna call this. You remember the Wed Redding? I'm gonna call this the Red Shipping. Had a lot of really cool stuff. I had the Crimson Bat, nice, and a couple of other things. I got the SH Figure Arts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and I love the figure art stuff, but the Peter face sculpt on this, the Tobey Maguire face sculpts were really good. I was impressed with those. I picked up, I had shipped in that shipment the Mafex number 129 Mandalorian. I know there have been several different versions. This was I think the one from season 2, and it's first Mando that I've gotten from Mafex. I have a couple of the Boba Fett's, but I'm really impressed with this. The only thing I really wasn't crazy about was the way the rifle mounted, but it seems no one can figure out how to do that properly.
They all suck.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. Another piece that I picked up that I loved, 3-0. Bill and I were talking about 3-0 earlier. Picked up another one of the MDLXs, the Cliff Jumper, another really great figure. Megatron should be coming anytime soon. Got another dead end from Legacy so I could have the team of Stunticons in front of Minnesota, but this was the big boy for the week. The Masterpiece Skyfire showed up.
That looks so good.
He is a big, this is a big chunky boy. I don't know where in the collection he's going to go, but it's a fun piece. It's a very simple transformation. They do a great job of being very faithful to the cartoon aesthetic in both modes, and that's what the Takara masterpieces go for. If you want something that's more inspired by the cartoon, but not as simple looking, more detail, more lines, than the some of the third parties would probably be a better bet. But if you like what the aesthetic has been lately with the masterpieces, what they did with the MP44 Prime, and some of the others, this guy's really great. You have to be, I'm not going to say careful because it's not delicate, but you have to be mindful when you're transforming it. Pay attention to where the tabs and the pegs are, because it's easy for such a simple transformation. It's easy to let it run away from you, but it's a lot of fun. I like it. I just don't know where I'm going to put it on my shelf because I'm running out of space, and then I've got another Titan coming. One of the guys on the Bot Talk board selling this Triptychon to me. That's the one Titan I don't have, and I have no idea where that stuff's going to go. So may have to just keep that in a box till we get in the new house. Oh, that's Skyfire. The
I was gonna say, is Skyfire the biggest MP, or is there something bigger than him in that?
I think he's the biggest MP. Previously, I think Ultra Magnus was the largest, and he's definitely bigger than Ultra Magnus. Probably weighs about the same amount of plastic. Now, one of the things that I notice on this is there aren't as many lines, and one of the ways they did that, they used lots of solid pieces of plastic, so that really cut down, I'm sure, on the amount of molds they had to use. So for a piece this big, it wasn't nearly as expensive as you might. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't as expensive as you might.
I remember when we covered that originally thinking that was a decent price. Like I remember not feeling crazy,
I was afraid it would just be full of hollows or something like that. It's not. It's very solid. But yeah, what it is it's a lot of, and you can probably see it's like a lot of big solid pieces of plastic.
Right.
So there weren't, I'm sure they saved money on molds. And that had to be how they got the price down, because Takara is not going to take a loss. They're going to make their money. But it's a cool piece. I just got it opened up and transformed today, so I still have to play around with a little bit, and but it's good. It's good. It was fun. I love doing a pile of loot, because you pay for this stuff a little at a time, then you pay the $4 shipping or whatever, and then boom, you get a big box of stuff. I love it.
It is nice. It is fun, for sure.
What's up, Trevor? What's going on, man?
One other thing I want to
go ahead,
share.
Larry.
One other thing. Last thing. Our future house now has a roof on it, and that was very exciting. So now they can proceed regardless of weather. So yeah, so that's good.
In some countries, you have to now officially start paying taxes on the house once it has a roof. Once it's like technically livable in certain countries, like I think like maybe.
Well, we don't have that, but not to get political, but thanks to Uncle Joe, now that since I have worked my whole life on that 800 credit score, and we're going to put down more than 20%, we get to pay an extra penalty every month.
Right. You're
subsidize all the folks who can't pay their bills.
That is nuts.
It's a pisser. I did the math, and it's going to be an extra $27,000 over the life of the loan.
Even a lot of liberals are like, what the hell is that all about?
Dude, it's ridiculous. I mean, all you have to do, because it's to benefit folks with a credit rating under, I think, 640 or 660, dude, all you have to not do is like pay your minimum payments on time. And that's all you have to do to have a 640.
It's true.
Accidentally do that.
Not that easy for some people, but yeah.
Well, the fact remains is, anyway, no politics.
Conversation for a different show.
Just toys. Go ahead, Trevor.
Just toy politics, damn it. What did I get? Is that what we're talking about? Some more vintage series I picked up. I got Luke. I think I got this in from Hasbro, and then I found these at a toy show locally. Steph Delatour and I went to, and
cool.
These are they're vintage size, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have that.
So
set,
I don't know, the droids from the Obi-Wan show. Yep. I just thought they were kind of cool. Okay. Probe droid. I don't have a probe droid. And
that I forget the name of that droid, that specific droid from Obi-Wan. That's a great.
Yeah, the yellow
character,
the sentry. Yeah, I can't remember.
The yellow guy.
Oh, Ned B.
Ned B. Yeah.
Yep. I've been picking up these, man. I'm like loving these things. I pre-ordered all the ones that came out today. That they have an AT-AT. It was like $50, and it's big, man. It's really cool.
Are those Hasbro? What are those?
Really awesome. No, Jazzware.
Oh, okay.
So they're like the Micro Machines, but they're a little bit bigger than the Micro Machines, and they're really fun, man.
I've almost bought the Falcon several times. Is it worth?
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth the squeeze?
If you just as a piece, that on Target right now is like, I think it's $18.
Really?
They're not crazy expensive, and they look nice. They're not like high detailed. Like I think the ones you get with that X-Wing game are probably even a little more detailed, but they're smaller.
Right.
They're just fun. They're fun toys, and they have. Yeah, exactly. Okay. But these have little figures inside that you can actually put in. And it makes sounds. The Falcon. They're fun. They're very cool like Micro Machine-esque.
They look like cool toys.
Yeah, but there is some detail in them. They look pretty good. They emphasize playability over the perfect aesthetic. So if you're into like, it's got to be a perfect model of whatever, you're not going to get that. But they're fun to have. Yeah. Have them all like sized up and all kind of on the same shelf and correctly sized is pretty cool. And the only other thing I got in from Toys Wonderland, I won't pick it up, but I finally got after about a 6-month tour on the water, was the Scout Trooper and speeder bike from Return of the Jedi, which I just saw this afternoon in the theater, which was fun.
Oh, that's the 6 scale stuff? Is that?
Yeah, this is the 1/6 scale. Yeah. It took me. Yeah. I paid for the slowest shipping, and it's like 4 months, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it was in one piece and in good shape too, which is very surprising.
Yeah, because it just sat in one place it probably sat waiting to get on a boat for 3 months.
Yeah, it sat in New Jersey for like 2 weeks, right down the street.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
I also saw Return of the Jedi last Friday. Oh, so much fun to go see that. And Larry, so we all saw it, right? Did you?
Oh,
Trevor,
yeah.
Did you say you went and saw it?
I saw it this afternoon. Were there a lot of people? I saw there was like 5 people in the theater and like
Same.
noon.
I saw it Friday at like 1 p.m. So I was not expecting there to be a lot of people anyway.
I kind of liked it, but then there were times that I was like, it would be fun to relive like seeing this in a theater full of people who enjoy it, but it's Return of the Jedi too. It's
we got that. We got that in the 90s when they did the special editions. I mean, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember waiting in line and like, it was a party. Like it was just I was at college. I was in college, and it was during the college year, so we were up at the mall near our college and stuff, and we had to take the bus to get over there, and it was like it was a party at the mall waiting to get into.
It was like a mini celebration. I remember that too. It was like people were dressing up, cosplaying and stuff, and everybody had a lightsaber.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yep.
It was fun.
It was
same thing with Phantom Menace. Like going to see that for the first time was a huge deal.
We didn't at the theater when we went to see Return of the Jedi. We went to the only showing that wasn't sold out. But by the time we got there were maybe 7 or 8 empty seats. It was pretty full. But what was really cool was like people were cheering. It was like being at the opening of the Phantom Menace.
That's fun.
A long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, when Star Wars came up, everyone started cheering. Everyone applauded at the end. And the best part was at the end of the thing. Some kid behind me who couldn't have been more than 13 or 14 years old turns to his parent and says, "God, they should have stopped with this. Those Disney ones suck." And I was like, "There's hope for the America's youth."
There's hope.
I was hoping everybody booed the Hayden Christensen appearance at the end. I thought that's what you were going to say. I did quietly, but I booed it.
That's like the least offensive thing about the.
Oh, that's the second most offensive thing to me, man. That makes me crazy.
Really?
That and that stupid extended music video in Jabba's palace is ridiculous.
Oh, Jedi rocks. Yeah, that's bad. And yeah, it should be Sebastian Shaw at the end because he turned back to the light side. And George Lucas' whole thing was that's his light side. Well, guess what? He turned to the light side when he was an old man before he died.
Yeah,
and
he
wasn't really an old man. He wasn't really an old man. He was like a 49-year-old man. Now that
50-year-olds looked older back then, to be fair. But
I'm about 3 years away from that. And God, if I look like that at that point, I'm quitting.
For me, it's the musical changes. It just throws everything off for me. Like I feel like Return of the Jedi is the most offensive one of all of them in terms of like just jarring, right? Like I can kind of like deal with the intellectual side of like thinking about Hayden and Anakin and stuff, but like there's something very deep down and like in my core that's the music in the movie that just a lot of it got changed between Jabba's palace and the end of the movie. Like both types of music being changed.
I want Yub-Nub
back. For me.
I want my Yub-Nub
Yub-Nub.
back.
Yeah, Yub-Nub.
Totally.
Man. It was the best.
But still, some of the stuff seeing it on the big screen for the first time since '96 or whatever.
I just think
it's '97.
I just think it's going to be like like years from now when somebody sits down to watch that, even if they watch them in order of the OT, and they get to the end, and they're going to be like, "Who's this guy?"
Right, exactly.
Who's that guy at the end? Like I just saw this kind of fat, pale old guy die. Like who's that guy?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, like seeing like to me, I don't know, for some reason, I love the third act. I love the big epic space battle. I love the intense lightsaber duel on the Death Star. Like all that stuff has just always been at the forefront of Return of the Jedi. But
the Emperor,
for some reason this time, Yoda's death to me was so striking and just so, I don't know, beautiful. It looked like a painting. Like it just was so awesome and real. It just was, I don't know, like that to me is now one of my all-time favorite scenes in Star Wars. Just for some reason, just seeing that on the big screen again after all these years.
I wonder if
It's
that's
so
I
good.
wonder if that's an age thing, because like it hit me differently too now. I don't know what it is. Like maybe having parents who could getting
Yeah.
older or something like that or whatever. But like, yeah, that was interesting. I like the way they did it. I mean, yeah, I mean the fact that there's always the coincidence. Like he shows up and like, okay, Yoda decides he's got, but I think he kind of made the decision. Like he kind of held on until Luke got there and told him a few things, and then just like, all right, it's time to go. And he kind of made the decision, kind of in a Jedi way.
The thing that struck me was, like Bill said, how awesome that space battle looked. And it still held up.
Yeah.
And well, three things: that, how poignant, like you said, how poignant Yoda's death was, and how Frank Oz brought that puppet to life. Like it was so real. I mean, I've seen that movie 100 times. It's 40 years old, and I still almost rolled a tear when Yoda disappeared. And then during the yeah, spoiler alert. And then during the fight between Vader and Luke, it's like the fight in Empire Strikes Back. They weren't flipping, they weren't twirling, they weren't there was none of that crap. There was emotion. It was raw. It was real. You felt it. And I will take Bespin or Death Star 2 over that overly choreographed Mustafar, any of that stuff. I'll take it any day of the week.
Yeah.
I agree with
the
that.
Last Jedi, all that stuff.
I like those. I like those lightsaber duels. I like, but I do think that these Empire and Return of the Jedi they do have so much more emotion. All right, we need to get started here. Let's see where do we go from here? Return of the Jedi. Happy May the 4th, everybody. I want to mention a couple things starting off. One, we're going to do something real quick that I don't usually do. For those of you who joined a few minutes late, you might not have seen this, which is Braku Prime's latest masterpiece, and this is the new DORKLAIR podcast intro. Here we go. How about that? That's awesome. So freaking awesome. Cool. Braku Prime. Thank you again, man. Thank you so much for putting that together. It is awesome. And I just had to play it again. I knew there were a lot of people it was about 40 people when we started, and now it's 75. So I had to show that again. But yeah, give some props in the chat to Braku in the new intro. And then another little housekeeping bit that we have to talk about is this one. I started memberships. I've been hesitant to do the membership thing for a long time, and I just kept putting it off because I couldn't think of like great ideas, like great concepts. Like I was like, I gotta really do it right. Like if people are gonna pay for memberships, it's gotta be awesome. And finally I was like, you know what? Let me just start piecemealing it together and kind of, just kind of go with it. And I got to a point where I was like, if I just keep putting it off, I'm never going to do it. So I put together a couple emojis and, a couple little things, stickers and whatnot. And, or not stickers, but like for the members, there's like
the emojis.
There's like little, I guess there's emojis, and then there's like icons next to their name that indicate that they're. Like,
yeah,
members.
right.
Like, so if you look at Hedgehog right now or Braku, they have the little DORKLAIR symbol next to them. There's like that bit, and then I was also like, you know what? I can also just do like random live streams, like before or at different times, like just do like some random live streams, even if it's like a half hour here, half hour there. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it, and the response has been tremendous. I think we're up to maybe 19 now with Fetmatic here. Let me just put that one up.
Awesome.
It's a new member.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. So it's $1 a month. Obviously, I don't expect people to subscribe to the membership or anything like that, but for $1 a month, and I'll do some, random like member exclusive live streams. You get the little emojis and stuff. And most importantly, it helps support this show and help support our giveaways, which we're going to do one today, a little Star Wars related giveaway. Actually, let me reveal that right now. So what I have is a little Imperial giveaway. So I've got two. When these were on sale, I started stocking up on these, and I haven't opened all of them. So I do have 2 extra of the Shadow Troopers from Force Unleashed, and to go with them, we've got their leader. We've got Vader.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I don't even remember in the show if Vader appeared with these, or in the game. But we've got the Rogue One Vader to go along with it. So carded Vader. Vintage figures, yeah. So we'll do that in a bit. Once we get this talking Star Wars stuff. And then let's check in with the chat here. Braku is, of course, in the house. Oh, we got another one. Fonny Rotten Picks.
Nice. Fonny Rotten.
Another member. Thank you very much. We've got the Collecting Brothers in the house. Click on the $ in the chat, then click membership, then complete your purchase. Oh, so for people asking, there you go. I will say this. I've noticed that depending on which app you're on, and maybe if you're on the live stream, it's always available.
iPhone doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, like iOS, I feel like it's a Google thing where it's like they're going to like hamstring iOS any way they can. But
Possibly.
Yeah, like if you're on iOS, you might not see the join button. So you might have to dig around or open it up in a different browser. Here we go. Edgardo, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, iPhone was a pain, right? Braku being one of the earliest. Let's see who else is in the chat. We've got Brick something. We have Laura. Laura said she wants Larry to do a wrestling. I can't find the comment now, but a wrestling / politics podcast.
Tell you what, maybe that's what Big Nerdy and I should start, because I think we could go for hours.
Yeah. Rob Zamora, Kevin Boots, what's up? And for some reason, this made me just think of the intern for a day for Four Horsemen Studios for, like Mythic Weekend. And I didn't get picked, but I might be a +1 for somebody. So I might have lined it up. So I'm hopefully going to go. The only thing I have left is I have to make sure I get the day off. And I won't know that until September, because I can't request a day for the 23-24 school year. I can't request that day until that school year begins, but I think I should be okay. It's deep enough into the year. Laura, Joe Suter. Hey, Joe Suter, pop and swap buddy. Draco, Texas, Rick, Sean, Lago, Steve, T. Belay. David Williams. What is up, dude?
What's up, David?
You know, it's funny, Trevor. You posted that you and Dagobah Customs were on CNN or something like that. And the article was written by a guy named David Williams or something, right? Did you know that?
Yeah.
That was neat, man.
He wasn't related to me either, so that's not how I got in there.
Right. Can you give like a 3-minute like rundown of what that was all about?
God, it was 6 years ago, which I can't even believe it was 6 years ago.
Crazy.
But I think the guy was, I think we kind of got lucky. Like, I had a decent following back there, but I wasn't like in the upper echelons of follows, and neither was Dakota either. I think this guy just kind of found some people who were doing Star Wars posts, and I was doing a lot more Star Wars posts back then, and it picked us, and it ran. Like, it was like early on. It was like I think the first or second year I was doing this, and it kind of solidified it for my wife, because I got to show her that. I was like, look, it's on CNN. She's like, wow, that's actually pretty impressive. I'm like, yeah, verified. I know. See, this is something. So it was fun. It was cool to wake up and be on CNN for a day. It's good. Good.
That's sweet.
Good May the 4th, the second only to Mark Hamill liking one of my posts. That was probably the best.
Nice. And just to mention to the new members, I will add the names to the ticker for next week. It's just too much like juggling to add them right now. But thank you everybody. Wow. I think we got like 5 or 6 already today. New ones.
Nice.
It's amazing. I think keeping it to $1 and just having the one tier is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes it accessible. You
can't buy an action figure for $12. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you
it's
can't.
like a year.
Unless it's at Ollie's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and of course,
or 5 below or something, I suppose. But it's
Right.
gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's no expectation. Like I don't expect people to do it. It's very much appreciated when they do. Southern New Hampshire. We're very close. I'm in Boston, so I'm like right near you. Apparitional Wolf Shadow, are you going to travel down to Danbury, Connecticut this Saturday and go to the Shop the Curiosity toy show by any chance? Because I will be there. It's a bit of a hike. It's like 3 hours from us, but I'm going.
What time do you think you're gonna be there?
I want to get
Or do you
there.
not want to tell people?
I want to get in line.
You can tell me later.
No, I can say it. I want to get in line. So I want to be there to be in line. Four Horsemen doesn't need my help or anything. So I'm going to be like like everybody else, just jumping in line. And I'd like to get there an hour early, but that means, so the show opens at 9 for early bird and an hour early would be 8. So that would mean I would leave by 5 to get there. So
3-hour drive.
which is not bad. Like I can do it. It's 3-hour drive. Yeah. For me. So
I think I got an hour and a half.
Really?
The Wayne, New Jersey one is, yeah. Well, on a Saturday, it should be like, I mean, it's Connecticut, man. You got to go all the way around the end of the island and come back.
No, I mean,
around.
that seems short. That doesn't seem, that's
2 hours when
quick
the traffic is bad. So like on a regular afternoon, it would probably be about 2.5 hours, but it's only about an hour and a half.
Hedgehog. Thank you, dude. $5 super chat. My son and I went to Return of the Jedi Sunday. It was awesome, especially to me, but we both covered our eyes and ears during the Cy Sniggles abomination. Yeah. Like it's jarring and it's easy to be like, oh God, I hate those, those parts. But like the vast majority of the experience is completely positive and awesome. My daughter refused to go with me. I wanted her to come so bad, but I'm trying not to like pressure her too much to like Star Wars because
It'll just backfire. Yeah.
It's about an hour and 45. Yeah. So my wife is going to be out in Springfield that day. So I may come from Danbury back up to Western Mass, Springfield area before I drive back to Boston. I'm not sure yet. So that'll kind of like break up my drive home if I do that. Blaze Bear is only 30 minutes from Danbury. Sweet. Nice. So that's the Shop the Curiosity. And then the other thing that's going on this weekend, if you're on the West Coast, and Trevor, where is the West Coast meetup? What city is that in?
Sacramento.
Okay, Sacramento. Yeah. That's also Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hopping.
Yeah.
There was a Wayne, New Jersey show. It's not going to be a Mythic Legions thing, though. But there should be some Mythic Legions there.
Okay, so Brick's going to be there at the Sacramento one. Nice. Hour and a half, 2 away. Yeah, nice. That's a good, that's very doable distance right there. Mm-hmm. Sacktown.
Sacktown.
Not sure they call it that.
No, but I'm calling it that from now on.
It's at Toy Fusion.
It's a very New Jersey thing to call Sacramento, I think.
Hack and sack. All right. I used to love hacky sack, by the way, when I was in high school.
I could never get past 3 or 4.
Oh my God.
I was terrible.
Good Lord. That was the
terrible.
Entire recess, man. Back when I smoked. Smoking and playing hacky sack.
Yeah. Lunchtime outside. Yep. Mm-hmm. And like back then we could like kind of smoke at school. It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I thought I went to school in a redneck area. Where'd you go to school?
Me?
We're both upstate
New York.
Wow.
upstate New York.
Nah, man, you try. I mean, shoot. Where I was born, they put a pinch between your cheek and gum before they smack your butt to make you start crying when you're born. I don't think they would have let us get away with that in school. They're
So
pretty hard on that.
By the time I was in high school, there was no like smoking room for the kids or anything like that. But like you could pretty much smoke outside.
Outside.
Nobody.
Yeah, there was a smoking
Really?
area outside. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not at my school. They'd put you under the school.
All right, let's get moving along here. I think that's all the sort of housekeeping stuff, and I want to get into the All-Stars. So I want to pull up some links here. Oh, you know what? Before All-Stars, let's just check in real quick with last week's topic. So we're going to share this. So last week we had Matthew on talking about the Armies of Ashmore, Defenders of Eden Kickstarter, which is just incredible. And I got to up my pledge still because there's been some stuff added. But this thing is at 80% pretty much. So it's like 100,000 and it is the goal, and it's at 83,000 now. So
Nice.
it's pretty close. It's right around 80% right now. So it's
Hey,
cruising.
have you guys seen Boss Fight is doing a very similar line? I think it's called Mesozoic Warriors. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yes, those just released the Saurozoic.
Okay,
Warriors.
that was it. Saurozoic. I knew it was something zoic.
Yep.
So did one of them bite off the other, or is this just a coincidence?
I think it's
These are very
totally
similar looking lines.
coincidental, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have, I think, color wise and dino wise, of course, they're very similar. But if you really look at the molds and the sculpts and stuff, like they are very drastically different. These are going to be much more premium. They're much more detailed, sculpted. It's just a different beast altogether with the two lines. So I think they're
Jurassically different, actually.
That's a lot. So they are much different. So I do think there's a different audience for each one. Like there's the retro toy, sort of like the retro toy crowd that I think that the boss fight ones will appeal to, and these will appeal to like the sculpture art kind of crowd a little bit more, with overlap, of course. But I just wanted to check in on that. 83,000. It's doing really well. There's still 30 days to go. And if you're interested in these, I highly recommend supporting it. Matthew's a great guy. Check out last week's episode to just hear all about this line and stuff. They added a couple things. So they added, the hands were already there at the time. This was already there. And they added, so at the same stretch goal of 150K, it's going to unlock both of these. So now the new one that's added is the translucent blue Milwick. And then, so hopefully we can get there. There's still quite a ways to go to get to 150 because we haven't even hit the 100, but I'm optimistic for that.
I may just start an entirely translucent blue toy collection
Shelf,
just like a whole shelf of just translucent blue figures.
I might start an entire YouTube channel just dedicated to translucent blue action figures.
I think you should call it translucent blue, actually.
Yeah, I think I have a Fruit Loop Spirit of Obi-Wan from 1995 I could add to that.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, this has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but I need to throw it out there. If anyone's friends with me on Facebook and you get a message from me saying somebody died and it's a YouTube link, don't click on it. I've been sitting here, just figured out that I got hacked. So I changed all my passwords and I went through Messenger. It had auto sent that message to like 50 people. So I just was clicking copy paste. I got hacked. Don't open the link.
Just now, huh?
Yeah. Like I got like seven texts from people came through. I was like, hey, who died? I can't open the link. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And so that's why I was looking down. So sorry I was absent there, but yeah.
Feel free to if you need to.
Yeah.
I'm good. Everything's good now. Everything's good.
Change your password.
All right.
Oh yes, and there was it shows what devices are logged in. There was something logged in Chicago, Illinois, so I logged it out and then changed the password. So then I had to reactivate the thing. But
I got the message. I got the message with like the
yeah. Did you get the message I sent after it that said don't open it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like I got hacked. Ignore. Yep.
Yes, please ignore. All
right.
All right. Sorry about that. Back to our regularly scheduled Kickstarter.
Okay, so our main event. Getting into the main event here. David. Welcome, Denizen Dave. All right. Here we go. Okay, so All Stars. Larry's laughing because
I'm sorry. No, I was laughing.
Something's missing from the list.
I was laughing at Vanny Rotten Pick's comment.
Let's see. What did you change your password to? Just in case
we need help. That's our audience. They're a bunch of givers. Yeah, but I already did my Renfield laugh when I saw this earlier. Where's the pity?
So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go through all the figures. I've bookmarked them in order, and as I was bookmarking them, I realized the order, which is alphabetical. Like, what is the order here?
Well.
It's alphabetical pretty much. There's a couple exceptions, but yeah. So we're gonna go through each one, talk about them, talk about our what we're gonna vote for, what are our favorites. But I just really wanted to show everybody each figure besides just these like headshots, because there's some things that people might want to see. And as we're going through, people can throw their vote royalty. That would be the kings, right? Bromden and Noglin. So throw your slogans, throw your wants and wishes in the chat, and we're gonna get into this. So first up is As a Spirit Bender. So this was an Advent. There's a lot of Advent of Decay, and I just want to make sure that we show, sort of like the whole figure. Obviously, the older photos are not as good as the newer ones that Trevor's been doing, but at least we get like a full shot of most of them with all their stuff. So here we have As a Spirit Bender, 2.0 female figure. Very cool. Very, at this point, very rare. Most of these, aside from some of the slightly newer ones, most of these are hard to find. Some are like worth a ton. Some are worth, a lot, but not as much. But most of them are really hard to find at this point. And it's like out of reach for most people. So there's that one.
This is going to be a $140 figure, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd say so. And you know what? Maybe we can pull up. Trevor, do you want to pull up that list?
Yeah, I can do it.
That was posted.
Of what?
And then you can. So there was a list posted in Facebook in the Cabal by Dub. I can't think of his whole name. The YouTuber that was on Jeremy's show last night.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Big Dub.
Yeah.
Not Big Dub. Yeah. Is it Big Dub? Yeah.
Here we got Sean. I'm voting for Nothing 2.0 because I want some $37 Vampire Knights. Wait. I'm voting for Nothing But 2.0. Okay. Nothing But 2.0 because I want some $37 Vampire Knights. So don't have a paint. So I don't have to paint my Tactics beauties. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yep. The Vampire Knight's awesome. It is so good. I love that figure. And it comes with a ton. So the cool thing about Advent of Decay stuff is when they were doing that Kickstarter, they just kept like blowing by stretch goals and then adding things to figures. And then it like tons of figures got an extra head or a third head. Big Dub. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. What is his actual name?
It's
don't think he goes.
It's not his actual name. It's
he does actually.
What's
that? Got it. Okay, I got it.
You got it.
Okay. He does actually go by Big Dub.
What is the full name on Facebook? Big
Dub Squeeze It.
Squeeze It. That's right. Dub Squeeze It. Okay, so Trevor, you'll have those prices. So what Big Dub did was he just like ranked them by like aftermarket prices so that you can get a sense of like.
So he had 190 and the lowest price 157 for her.
Okay.
It was about about 140, 150. Yeah.
Yeah, and
a lot of these are eBay prices too. Yeah.
And a lot of these
Yep.
numbers are very limited because there's just not a lot selling. There's just not a lot out
Yeah.
there. So it's hard to be like,
Yeah, some of these
okay,
figures.
3 have sold in the last 9 months.
Mhm.
So the value is
Mhm.
somewhere between 110 and 250. It's like, how do you,
Right.
you know? So as a spirit bender,
Mhm.
I'm not voting for Azza. I think it's awesome and I would love an Azza, and I don't have an Azza, but there's ones I want more.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Balam, another advent of
people
decay,
like
but this
Balam.
being a 1.0 style figure. We do have Poxus coming up, so these two characters, you know, fit in well with that magic user kind of thing. And then so here's some Balam
Recently
shots.
sold for $89 on. That's a recently sold. Lowest current price, $186. Balam I've seen in the 110, 120 range. It's
Yeah.
more available than you think it is. Like a lot of people
Yep.
are like, "Oh, I want him so bad and he's so cool." It actually is out there.
Yep.
You can get a decent deal
beautiful,
on it
though.
if you wait. Yeah.
Yep. And some people are just like, I won't pay over $50 for it, and then I don't blame you for voting on anything.
Then you're not going to get it.
Yeah, and that's why they're going to vote for it. You know, not to be overlooked is this option here. He's a killer knight with just awesome paint, a cool color, that sort of like lavender
Color's
purple
great.
kind of thing. I love this figure. It mixes well for pop and swaps, especially with that other really hard to find figure, the Night Builder Deluxe from the Covenant wave.
With the turquoise, yeah.
Yeah, with that turquoise, with this looks amazing. So yeah,
Rick Emmert just said he just paid $75 for a Balam.
Yeah, you can find it. I feel like this was rerun.
You can get good deals on this.
I feel like this had a BBTS rerun, like with some other Advent stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty readily available for quite a long time. Okay, so that's Balam. We need to have the
Balam.
Yeah.
Balam.
We need to have the pronunciation guide up too.
I know.
Okay, next up we've got Belphegor. Shout out to the 96 viewers right now. Sweet.
Nice. Hit that like.
Yeah, Belphegor. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I guess this was 2019. I was like a little shocked that these don't
extremely
have the Trevor
recent.
photos.
This was just, I went to this. This is the G-Con that I was at that I started talking to them about doing photographs for.
Oh, okay. Right.
So there's actually, if you go on to like my Facebook page, or I think they must have posted some of them too. I have all behind the scenes pictures of them that look really nice.
You know what's funny?
I got to go back and do these.
Your appearance on that is why we met in person. So I met you at I think
that's
Toy
right.
Fair. And,
Toy Fair, yeah.
And I don't remember if it was your voice or like I ran into you at Toy Fair, and there's no way I would.
You heard me. My back was turned, and you came up to me. So it must have been my voice. I
recognize you because of having seen you on the live stream, because I had never, that's the only time I had ever, seen you on a stream or anything like that at the time. So yeah. that was why I was able to recognize you, was that.
Very cool.
This figure's awesome. I'm not voting for it. I have a couple, and it's just too new for me for a reissue.
It's way too new, and you can get him. I don't know what he's got for him. Where's he got? Belphegor.
You could probably get him for $60.
The recently sold price $80, lowest price $75. I think you could get him. If you could get to a con, you could get this for $66, $65, $70.
Yep.
Tops.
Very cool. And Trevor,
great looking figure though.
Guys, if you can keep an eye on the chat a little bit and see if there's anything that we should bring up. All right, because I've got like 2 screens going. So, all right. So next up we have Borrier, another Advent of Decay. Very cool figure. I don't have a full Borrier. I have parts of Borrier. Back when people were customizing, they were like,
this is
heads. And I randomly have his head.
This is another one that it's not incredibly popular. Like, I don't really love this figure. It's for posing. The head's difficult to move and stuff. It looks really cool. It's a cool looking figure, but it kind of sits outside some of the stuff that, you know, has come since, and it feels a little removed for me. So you can find this. I think he's got it on here. He said their most recent one was $67.
Yeah.
Lowest listed eBay price 140, which is way. I would never pay 140 bucks.
Just because there's none out. Just because there's none on there right now. But like any certain other time of year, you might see 6, 7 on eBay, and they're undercutting each other down to $60. I think the highlight for this
for parts, very cool
parts. Yeah, exactly. This is a really cool parts figure. Okay, so we got 4, and I think so. Speaking of the parts, I think one of the appeals of this one is the dwarf head that that is just recently released in the head pack. It matches this pretty much perfectly. You, of course, got to put feet on it.
True enough. I always thought this was like their Cerberus, like, you know, tribute or something like that.
Next up, both are heavy hitter right here, and of course they only have one picture, and it's like blurry.
Yeah.
Oh no, this one's not blurry.
Yeah.
I want this one. This is what I'm voting for, I think.
This is, I literally just bought this. So I'm kind of hoping that for a lot of money. So I'm hoping that it kind of doesn't go through. Yeah. I'm being selfish about it. You know what I mean? It'd be cool that people had it, and, you know, a dwarf would, but like, he's got the recently 214. I wish I had found it for 214. That can't be packaged. It must have been loose or something. And the lowest listed eBay price he's got is $300, which is closer to what I paid for mine.
Right.
It's just stupid. It's stupid. And it's like, you know, I don't even love the look of this figure. It looks cool and everything, but it's not, you know, again, you look back, somebody said it. Who was talking about? I think Jeremy was talking about this yesterday, just in terms of like their enthusiasm for releasing or doing these all-stars, because the old figures are just the new ones are so much better in parts and paint and look and stuff like that. And, you know, it's kind of disappointing to put out, you know, for them to have to produce these things, not to produce them, but like just, they want to do something new, obviously.
Once a figure stops being,
this thing, you can't touch it, man. $300, you can't touch it.
Once a figure stops being rare, it becomes just like every other figure. And then it's compared to every other figure on the same level as every other figure. And you start to see when you put this thing next to Magnus or even like Romulus, like even like a couple waves later, they were already just like putting so much more into the figures and the paint apps and like shading and like all sorts of stuff. That's the thing, is like people really, really want the hard to find figures, but they're not going to necessarily buy a bunch of them unless they're super good for parts, unless they're super good for army building, pop and swap in, like unless you want extras, right? So that's kind of one of those things.
Right.
It's like a double-edged sword, kind of.
Somebody's asking appropriately, yes, a double-edged sword. Trying to see. I can take a look at who asked if the bronze matches Kratos's bronze. I think it's a little bit dirty. It's not as bright as it looks here. This is it in the package, so I don't know if you're able to see it, but it's not quite as bright. That copper. Some of these pictures some of these pictures back then, I think just the brightness of the light.
They're
and stuff
super
like that.
bright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should have used more blue. Anyway. But so I don't think it does exactly. Somebody else asked something about I love both our Eric Johnson says Johansson, says I love both our, don't have him, but aside from paint, he's not as good as Bromden. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the
expensive figure. If you want him in your collection, got to do it, you know.
It's like you have the really rare, expensive, somewhat basic 1.0 figure, and then you have the very advanced, highly accessorized, tons of paint, unique head sculpt, 2.0 dwarf,
New parts.
or not 2.0, but like Advent dwarf, and it's like it becomes a tough decision sometimes. Even me, when I'm thinking like, yes, I want this so bad, like I really want this specific dwarf. I already have Bromden. I'm still kind of like, you know what, Bromden's the better figure. It becomes kind of difficult when you're trying to like pick just 3. Speaking of which, is that next? Wait, hold on.
There you go.
Boyer, Bothar,
Yep.
Bromden. Yep.
I think it is.
Yep, it is next. And this one's got some Trevor.
No, that's actually Sergeant Bananas.
Oh, okay.
That was prior to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had sent a few out from this wave, Advent of Decay, to him to shoot.
There you go.
Nice shots.
Yeah, very cool. And this is the one we want to see here with everything. So it is a loaded figure. It's an awesome one.
This is a great looking figure. This was when I first got this, I'm like, this is something else, man.
It's one of my faves.
I think it was one. I don't know if it was one of the first one. It wasn't, but it was one of the first ones that I got anyway, with the fur piece and stuff that you could play with. Some, I had capes before, but the fur was like a lot of fun to play with. I forgot about that helmet actually. That's there too. I put that away.
I mean, this is an army builder
since.
too. Have them flanked by 2 helmeted, guards without just take the fur off, put the knight's helmet on there, give them the swords or something.
And that crown will fit other figures too. That crown comes off. It's not glued on.
Yep.
Comes off, and it can fit onto skeletons or other things if you want to customize with that. So good parts. This is a good parts figure right here.
It's a good everything figure. It checks tons of boxes. It's great for kit bashing and parts. It's great for army building, just straight up as it is. You can have a little army of these guys. It's great for tons of accessories. It's loaded with stuff, and it's got a unique piece that the crown and the head, really, like both of those pieces are not on any other figure except this one. They're very unique.
Enough.
There's not a lot of figures with a unique piece like that. So this thing does check off a lot of boxes.
Recently sold for $150. I just sold one for $120, I think. Lowest listed eBay price $200, but yeah, I see him going for like $150 around places.
Yeah, maybe.
So
maybe
question
a little under that. Yeah.
When they do these all-star waves, because I've not ordered one from an all-star wave, do they come out in different packaging or anything to differentiate them from the first releases, or are they exactly the same? So does this completely destroy the secondary market, or kind of walk me through what that looks like?
It generally destroys the secondary market. The what?
I think the art cards are more. I think the art cards are the newer art cards, aren't they? They're not the same cards from that wave.
No, they usually reuse the original one, but but there are ways to tell them apart. Like
I would guess
ties
like
are usually a different color.
Yeah.
And things like
so
that.
There's something.
The twist ties are white
like
on the original figures, but
so if someone's a mint on card collector, they can tell differences. There's something to differentiate.
They can. But usually the differences aren't enough for it to matter enough for it to make it like if you go try to buy an original Romulus right now that Romulus just got reissued, an original Romulus is going to be under $100. Like it's not going to be the $400 it was at one point. Like it's going to be very, very diminished.
We haven't gotten to the point where there's a subset yet, at least that I've seen. I'm sure there are people out there of people who want nothing but the original release and, mint on card, and are to the point where they, we don't have a book out yet or anything like that, like this is what distinguishes, Romulus version 1 from Romulus version 2, you know what I mean? The reissue or whatever, you know what I mean? So it may be, yes, there we go. Winner.
Did you see, Trevor?
Boiled chicken dinner.
Did you see my
I did.
I tagged you today? Did you see it?
I did. It was great.
Bat
Yeah,
Bomb.
it was great.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Actually, I want to see it. Hold on. So Bat Bomb did his. Like, there's not a lot of people who are doing original art for their campaign.
I have my button up there for that. Yep.
I'm trying to find. I'm not sure if I'm gonna find it. Hold on, where we are. I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Where did we get back to the cabal? Let me just search Anthony. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
That's awesome. He did.
I wish I'd had that for my button, actually. Yeah.
Right? So good. So
Very.
good.
This
Makes
is.
you kind of want to.
You'll appreciate this.
So was this like really long time ago, and it's super expensive on the aftermarket now, or is this kind of something you want for an army builder?
No, Clavian is an OG. He's an OG that's very hard to find. Might be the hardest one to find of all these. And it's a pretty simple build, but it has a very unique paint job. Obviously, the red bones, and it's got like this is more silvery than it actually is, but like it's brighter than it is, but it's still like got a metallic thing to it. I don't have one.
Can you mind sharing my button? I want Larry to see that.
Oh, Jack says he's over $500. Holy crap!
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, this is an expensive one.
Did you?
Yeah, it's in the share.
There we go. That are dead in red.
That's awesome.
Gotta do it.
That's great.
I like you have the Phenomenus.
Yeah, the little I gotta go find Big Dub. There we go. Let's see what he's got up here for this.
So this is the one we're talking about here. He's not in Big order. Dub shared the guide.
Oh wow! Okay.
$330. Recent eBay sold price and lowest eBay listing is $371. That's even like, I don't know, man. That still feels low. I've seen him for $400
because of the economy. It's like, I kind of agree with that. It's a very rare figure. Both are too. Like there's some really rare ones in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Clavian take a spot. I agree. I think it's a contender for sure.
I've seen a lot of people, campaigning for him, for sure.
Man, some of those prices are nuts.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Clavian, awesome. He's one that's on the cusp for me. I may vote for him. Next up, we have Faustia. This got some Trevor shots here.
Nope. Are you? Hang on,
oh, whoops. Sorry, I didn't. View tab, and there we go. Yep. Sorry.
I didn't realize that was on my screen. Sorry.
So we got Faustia here. I think this figure's great. I have the Max Bird.
This is an underrated figure, man. I love this figure. I loved it when it came out. Michael Casper be damned. This is a great figure
to me. There we go.
Yeah.
Shot.
So Faustia is getting up there. Like, this was a figure that nobody really touched for a while, and now all of a sudden, in the last 6 to 8 months, it's gone up. But $136 for the recent eBay sold price, and $167 lowest listed price. So that's high for a recent figure. You know what I mean?
Right.
This wasn't too long ago.
But there are some figures like this one, I think, where you had a wave and they just weren't bought as much. Maybe people
they
bought
didn't
the
sell
one.
As many. Nope.
Yeah, they just bought the one to have and didn't buy extras or so on. But I have one, and I love it.
Sure.
And but I don't think I actually might, because it's technically an army builder. I probably would buy more, but it's not the highest one. It's not that high on my list, and I'm not going to vote for it. But I would buy more of this figure. All right, so we are on Faustia. Another 2.0 style female.
This is an underrated figure.
This must be. If I'm seeing snow, I'm assuming this is Sergeant Bananas.
It's Sergeant Bananas.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Is there one that has all the stuff? I guess that's all the stuff there. Yeah. I don't have her. So I would be perfectly content if this got picked, but I don't think it will. I don't think she's got a chance really.
No, sadly. I mean, I picked her up a while ago, and I really love the look of this thing. It's it's obviously very Viking-esque. Actually, I have taken pictures of a bunch of these. We just haven't put them up yet because I haven't finished the wave. But Freya, he's got this listed at the recently sold price of 90 and the lowest listed price of 90. So you can still go out and get this. As old as this is. This is Advent of Decay, I believe.
Yep. It is.
For $90, man. I mean, or probably less, honestly, in some places. It's a great figure, though, man. It's definitely an underrated figure. It just doesn't come with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like Viking style stuff going on, in Legions, and so this is one of them. All right, so Freya of Deadhall. Again, I don't think she's really got a chance. Here's a heavy hitter. And of course, there's one photo, and he doesn't come with anything. but again, a really old figure that goes for a ton and is, has a good shot, I think.
I think he does come with a shield, though, right? He does.
Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah. I mean, he must come with more than just that one sword there. But Sir Galeron, this picture does not quite do the colors justice. It's not as gold. It's more like a reddish coppery sort of look to it.
Yeah. 326 recently sold. Again, excellent price. That's got to be, again, not either a complete figure or a loose figure or something. And then lowest listed eBay price, $500 right now. This thing is crazy, and this is why this is such an interesting thing. Like we have so many people coming in to the community that are new and look at this and go, meh. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm not going to go back. I can't even go back to Freya or, what were we just looking at? What's her name? And get that for less than $100. So I'm never going to get this thing, so why do I even want this kind of lame looking, knight that I already have, like with the body parts of 6 times over, just to get this figure, you know what I mean? I get it. And then you got the long timers who are like, God, I got to have this figure to complete complete it. So it's going to be tough, man. I don't know who's going to win out on that one, but,
and I think there's a distinct disadvantage to the 1.0 wave figures in that they are at this point so rare that you don't ever see them. So they don't even have a chance to become iconic anymore to people, especially the people who have come in since these have become super rare. Like they don't have that name recognition. They don't have that visual recognition that a Magnus.
You don't see people taking pictures of him. I don't have this guy. I can't take a picture of him. I would. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't have him.
So they're at a disadvantage because there's a lot more flashy, iconic figures that are just newer that people are like, oh my God, I have to get Aerith here. Or, it's not on the list, but like something like that, or like Magnus, like, holy cow, I have a chance to get Magnus. I'm voting for Magnus. He's awesome. Like,
and not only that, I mean, regardless of the fact that this isn't in front of people, or it isn't like, Nate didn't take an epic picture of it, or Iqbal or somebody, you know what I mean? You just look at it compared to what they're doing now, and by their own admission, and you have to admit that this was cool then.
Basic.
Still nice.
Now. Yeah.
But man, it's nothing like what they're doing now. And it's just like, I don't even know if I want to pay $37 for this. You know what I mean? I get it. But I want this figure.
Yeah. This is basic now.
I want to pay $400 for it.
Yep. Yeah. And we said that this picture does not do it justice.
Well, yeah. No.
Maybe if we could pull one up, Trevor, if you can find one, I know people have been kind of like, pumping it and posting it in the Cabal. If you find one, let me know.
Oh, have they?
And we'll come back to it.
I haven't seen any good ones.
I've seen a few pictures
actually.
of it.
Okay. I'll take a look.
Like, I haven't seen any great campaign slogans for it, but I've seen some just pictures of it.
It's tough to rhyme with Galeron.
I feel like there's like a lady in the Cabal who could be like, something for the gals.
Shalamont.
All right.
Shalamont.
Hank Shaw.
This is closer to it, but this isn't quite right either. But you do get that Aetheron shield, which is not unique though to him, I don't think.
Down in the bottom right. Yeah, up top right there.
Yeah.
That kind of like shows it more. There's a lot more
Yeah, this is a
between
little
the gold,
bit better.
The gold of the details.
Yeah,
and
this
the
is washed
copper
out.
of
This
the
is a
armor.
little too bright. This is a little closer to the reality right there.
Yeah, the
Up
top
in the
right.
corner there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't. Oh, was this an actual one? Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh wow! Now that's worth having.
Yeah.
Boy, those other
That
pictures
does it
didn't do it
justice.
justice. That looks like
See, this is
medieval
what
Iron
we're talking
Man.
about.
Right.
It's like Tony Stark in the 1300s.
Right.
Yeah, even though the paint wasn't like intense back then, there wasn't like they didn't do the little details, like the little filigree and stuff all the time on the chess pieces. The paint that they did use was gorgeous, man.
That's
Paint
gorgeous.
jobs
Yeah, and we're gonna get to one. We're gonna get to one later that is like incredible paint.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me come back to this. And
Hedgehog Action just said that's not him. He said it's a Zombie 13 custom.
Oh, is it a custom?
Oh,
okay. Shit. Sorry about that.
Damn,
I couldn't tell from what they were saying.
It's not that
just read it
far
really
off,
quick.
though. He was probably doing one because he didn't have it, right? Is that what happened? Or
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and he may have had it too. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. You guys can keep going. I'll just see if I can see it.
Galeron. Okay, next up, I'm 100% voting for this one. It might be my number one pick. That is Gorthok. And this was when they started getting a lot more detailed. So this was the Covenant of Shadows. I mean, story-wise, this is a pretty important character in the lore too. So you have Gorthok, the Shadow Orc, just really cool paintwork, and I don't have this one, and I want it.
I got him a couple years ago at a pretty damn good price, I have to say, for what he was. So again, not voting for him just because of that, but it's an excellent figure. And if it came up and won, I would be, happy for people who could get it. And just, I would buy a bunch of them because I love the paint, although it is very specific. You know what I mean? It's not like you can, create a ton of, or you could, I mean, I guess
they all have the same,
but they're very pattern. Yeah. On them.
Skin
exactly. Yeah.
Patterns.
Right. So he was $355 recently and $270 lowest listed price, which is a good price, actually.
Yeah, but you could switch the torso out, put the other head on. There's definitely some fun things you can do with this guy in terms of like army building and whatnot. But yeah, so he's very high on my wish list in terms of this because he's very old and he's also got really just unique high-end paint applications going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gorthok. Then we have, this is a fan favorite. A lot of people like this one, even though it is, a 2.0 figure. And I think some people are like, no, I'm not going to vote for a 2.0, but Grisha the Slitherer. Very cool figure.
This one is not, it's weird. Like, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say it comes with a bunch of weapons and stuff and a cape. And
it's a super interesting looking figure, different looking. Obviously that sculpt is nowhere else to be found. I think this to me like feels like it's harder to find. It's just like when you do find it, it's not crazy pricey for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think the aftermarket's nuts on this. Yeah.
No, he's got it's another one like Warrior that I think people either like a lot or just don't even care for. So recent eBay sold price $100 and lowest listed eBay price $128. Which still a lot of money, but like not crazy for the timeline that it came out in.
This is one of those ones where
beautiful
every
paint.
Little detail is touched on with the paintwork.
Yeah,
the little straps on the side.
Somebody says Lord of the Rings, Easterling vibes, and I kind
of
get
totally
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Dornishman vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
or if they wanted to do a true Dracula line based on the historical figure, this could be, Turkish Constantinople, troopers from that. The top just kind of brings my mind to that type of architecture. It's really cool looking. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to pop off. I've got about 400 text messages from the crap earlier. I need to handle this.
Yeah.
So I gotta let people
that sucks.
know. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, Larry.
I will see you next time.
Take care.
Later, Larry. We're gonna start cruising through these anyway because we're getting long.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully he can get that all squared away. It sounds like he's got it settled. He just needs to deal with all of the fallout from the texts. All right, so Grisha, and then we have Lord Viteris, which has some real world meaning because it's named after Joe Viteri, who is the ToyCon New Jersey runner and Legions Con creator. So very cool figure there.
Very nice figure. Not hard to find.
No. And it's, it's also not too crazy in parts or anything like that, No. I feel like there's a lot of common parts and stuff. And you can do a mock-up of this in just different colors pretty easily anytime you want.
The head with the helmet, it opens up and closes. This is like the alternate helmet.
Oh yeah, let me
that's
show.
a nicer.
Yeah, right, let me show the other one. Yeah, this is
that's
probably the draw
a nicer
here.
look to it.
Yeah, that's the draw.
It's a cool face.
Yeah. Gideon Heavensbrand with a mustache head, right?
Basically. Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right, so then we have another one that I think has a shot, even though it's very new figure, and I don't really want it to win. I think it's got a shot just on its sheer popularity, and that is Magnus.
He's an advisor to Hadriana. He's an advisor. That's all he does.
Just an advisor.
Isn't that cool?
Trusted advisor to Hadriana.
There you go. He's like an accountant, for God's sake. Come on.
But kind of like Bromden.
Consigliere.
He's like he's one of those full-on figures. He's got everything going for him in terms of just.
It is a good-looking figure. It's beautiful.
Great figure.
Parts are excellent. Love that chest piece.
Me too.
The paint, again, these pictures aren't doing that paint justice.
No, it's not coming through. The shiny metallic, and then also the wash.
So shiny.
Like none of it's really coming through. Actually, let me pull up.
But
let me pull up my photo of this. Hold on. It's gonna take a minute because I got to scroll down to find it. But I got a good photo.
And he's
really
like
showcases it. Yeah, go ahead.
He's going he's got him listed here at $115. I think this is a lot of hype, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
There's a lot of these. There's a lot of these out here because this was a wave that just it sold probably. I'm guessing, but probably one of the bigger selling waves. And I think a lot of these sold.
Yep.
So they're out there. I think if you go to a show or go to Legions Con, you'll be able to get this for less than that. Maybe right from the horseman, honestly.
Digging back to see if I can find my Magnus. While I'm doing that, let's move on to the next one and you can talk about it. So let's go to King Noglin. I'm a big Goblin guy.
Yeah.
This must be one. Oh no, this is also his,
nope.
Right?
This is Johnny too, yep.
Yeah.
I did take a picture of him though. I do have a cool picture of him.
So yeah, talk about him while I continue to.
This is a great figure. This is probably one of my favorite guys. I love Snag and I love Thump and I love Thwick. But Noglin, I mean, you gotta have a king, man, and he's awesome. If he was, the crown isn't removable, so it's not like you. I mean, you could take it off. you can pry it off, but it's not supposed to come off. So in terms of using that hat,
you'd have to replace it with something.
There's going to be an opening in the top, for the thing. You'd have to fill it in or something else. Maybe you could put that other crown on from Bromden if you got that. But other than that, it's kind of just a standard Goblin body. There's nothing really crazy here.
It's the colors. It's
it's the colors. It's the expression on his face, and it's the crown.
You want the king.
Yeah,
you want the specific character.
This is a key. This is like I want Attila, or I want Xylona, or what's her name?
Big name character. Any big name
Artemis.
character.
Artemis. You know what I mean? Like it's a leader. He's not a leader of the faction, but he's kind of a leader of the goblins. So like if you want that,
he's got a cool story
then you
connected with Bromden.
Yeah,
and that alliance there. All right, so here's my here's my shot of Magnus. Like this, I feel like really captures. And now I'm probably gonna get people to switch their votes a little bit here, but like this really captures, I think, what Magnus can do.
Flavian.
But yeah, I think this figure is amazing. I'm not voting for it. I don't want it to win, but it's awesome.
Right.
And I don't blame anybody. Like obviously, like everybody vote for just what you want, but like I don't blame anybody for voting for any of these figures. But for me personally,
no,
I'm not voting Magnus. All right, so let's go.
Trying to find this Noglin shot. Not that we need to pump that one up, but you can keep going.
So that's one of yours.
Yeah, Thalen. I love this figure. Again, I have it, but if this won, I'd be happy for people. I'd probably get some more for repaints or something like that. This might even kind of go cool. This light blue with some of the parts from the builders that we just got. Might be an interesting combination. But man, I love this figure. And she comes with a pretty good amount of stuff. White.
Is there a shot? No.
Yeah, right there. Oh,
I was looking for a shot with the.
Of the helmet. Oh no.
Helmet,
yeah, interestingly, I didn't take one of the helmet. I don't know why. Usually, we take an alternate action shot with the helmet.
Her she's got a lot. Like her weapons are really neatly painted. Her whites on her armor is a pearl color. The white on this right here is a pearl.
Yes,
kind of a color.
Pearlescent.
So she's very interesting, and very cool style, very unique in the line, in my opinion. Like there's not a lot of figures that like match up with her in terms of this like frost kind of thing. I mean, the ice troll is like the only one, right?
Right. If you want to see,
what do you got?
There's Noglin.
Ah, there you go. Scrooge McDucking it in a pile of gold.
Yeah, it's good to be the king. Yeah, he's great. He's got a lot. That face has got a lot of character. I think all the goblins are great in terms of character, but yeah.
I kind of think the goblins are what really got me to like go deep with legions, because it wasn't until Advent that I started like buying multiples from a wave, like kind of collecting the line. Yep. I was just dabbling until the goblins, which is funny because I don't have all the goblins. I don't actually have them all, but
yeah, I think I've got all of them up to this point.
So that was Thalen. Ooh, another goblin coming up next.
Thalen's awesome, man. I love that figure. I love that. You gotta stop me.
Where am I here? There we go. So yeah, another goblin. This is probably my second favorite goblin after
I love
Numnik. Numnik is my favorite. But this guy is awesome. This is like the value play. This figure comes with so much stuff.
It's got a great face again.
Yep.
And the horn with the openings on the side, you get a lot of options to switch that out and change him into something else. Different character.
He's got that shield.
Got that great
at the time. That was the first reissue of that shield. And then this is you right here with the in the dark, in the
fantastic
forest.
shot, man. Yep, he's killer.
Nicely done.
But
again, I'm not voting
too
for
easy
him.
to find. He's got the lowest eBay price at $85. I mean,
yeah, he's probably the easiest one to find. I mean, he was readily available not long ago.
Yeah.
Thwick. All right. Another heavy hitter, another single image.
Maybe the heaviest of hitters here.
Yeah.
For sure. Price wise, this is the creme de la creme. And I know I even saw Jeremy saying, like, I know people are saying, silver. I mean, it's a rusty silver, like it's a rusted, almost nickel armor.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't go well with the green, and I kind of agree, but it's different. It's different than all the other goblins. He stands out on the shelf. It looks really good, and this thing, to get it in your collection, is going to cost you $600.
Yep,
$500 to $600. It's nuts.
Yeah, and if
I got him for less, much less. I wasn't paying that much, but that was a few years ago, and it was still a lot of money. And I would love to get more of these. It's another goblin body, bare torsoed, upper painted green, and the green, I think, matches pretty well. It looks very bright. All these old pictures it looks very bright.
Yeah.
Overly, Kermit the Frog here, but it's not that kind of green.
This is one where it's like, if I feel like I would have expected at this point for that Orc Deluxe Tactics figure to be just like everywhere, and just to be like still at retail price on Big Bad, like not sold out or anything like that, and just like readily available, but it seems to not be.
Nope.
And like, if it had been, I'd be like, nah, this is like, I probably wouldn't vote for this, but that thing being already kind of sold out, like, I'm still kind of tempted to vote on this, because
it's a good substitute for people who didn't get that. I mean, yes, the paint on the armored parts is different than that, of course, but
yeah, it's a different look.
It's a bare-chested orc.
It's all the same parts, right? Like it's
Yep.
It's a green orc, bare-chested, not, prior to the deluxe builder, it was the green bare-chested orc. The previous one was the Colosseum orc.
Orc, yep. Which is hard to find too.
Yeah, that's a tough
expensive
one. So
this is a really good option, I think, for a lot of people. I mean, again, I know it doesn't come with a lot of new stuff or anything like that, but
it's basic.
Even if you just
iconic character.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of bare-chested. That was a part that people wanted before they reissued the Barbarian Builder, was the bare chest, and a lot of people wanted that, and it was hard to get. But
I remember
now it's everywhere.
Remember when people were scrambling to get what's his name, Torgen, because it was like the only bare chest at the time. Torgen was like super popular just because it was the only bare chest, and like it got the supply got drained out because people were grabbing it for customs.
He shot way the hell up. Yeah.
So that was Urku. Here's the Vampire Knight. Another figure that benefited from Advent having lots of parts with like every figure. It's got 3 heads. Really
I get the vampires for me were like something when I started out collecting. I'm like, I'm not going to get vampires. I don't need vampires and I don't need elves. I don't know why, because I like elves, but like, I was like, nah, I don't need those. And I got one vampire. And I was like, oh, I need all the vampires now. And I want to army build all the vampire knights. And this is a great army builder, man. This is really nice.
I remember when Advent first came out, and I had some goblins, and I started really loving it. That was when I really started loving it, like I said. And then somebody who was really into Legions, I'll tell you after who it was. I don't want to out them now. They were looking for a Mezco Batman PX Ascending Knight, and I had an extra one of those, and I traded that PX Batman for this and Lucretia, and it like,
oh yeah,
like that sort of just, it was like kind of a random trade. I was like, okay, cool. What do you got? And
Yep.
that random trade, that's how I fell in love with the vampires. Like just the
Oh wow.
shiny black armor, like these
It
things
just takes one,
are
man.
cool.
It just takes one and that purple. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I get it. I get it now. And they all have kind of a team look because a lot of them have that same thread running through them. And it's like, and I actually like the helmeted one too. I've got
Yep.
about 5 or 6 of these
All
guys
three
on the
heads
shelf,
are
man.
awesome.
I love them. I
Yep.
love those guys.
Okay, here's another just absolutely incredible figure, possibly one of my
Yep.
top 5 Mythic Legions figures. I even like this better than
Mhm.
Magnus. Like I think this is one of the
Me
best
too.
they've ever done.
Me too.
But I'm not gonna vote for it because I have a couple.
No,
It's like so
I
recent.
got about 7 of these.
Yeah. Braku, dude, what do you see as the turnaround time on these, being that they will be part of Necro 1.5 wave? I feel this could be close to 2 years. Well, now that Necro is 6 months into development, like if they're gonna just use parts that were on that, like I don't necessarily see it being a 2-year thing.
I'm not telling any tales out of school because I don't know yet, and I have to like tread this line. But like yeah, like you said, like part of those parts we're probably going to see. Although Jeremy has said we haven't seen, and I will be honest, I have not photographed them yet, but we haven't seen. The stuff that's going to come in that necro portion of this is not going to be just like cast offs. You know what I mean? We didn't want to put it in the main line, so we're going to put it in here. Like there's some really good stuff. But I can't imagine that it's not going to reuse some parts and stuff like that, so that are already being
Right.
produced. So they may
And
actually even be producing those now with
right.
Necronominus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They may be being made.
Keep
You
in
know what I
mind
mean?
last year's 6+ or 5+ figures, those ones they had already tooled up.
Yep.
And that's why that wave had a very quick turnaround. So it could be the same
Yep.
situation here. So yeah, I
these
personally don't think it will be 2 years.
are quick because there's no tooling involved. This is literally, print and paint. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got them maybe before the end of the year. Maybe early January next year or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like what happened this last time. That I get it. Like if we're getting this sort of Necro 1.5, there's this expectation that it could take longer than a usual one, but they've done some things to try to like minimize that. So I think there's both sides of that coin going on.
Again, I'm not telling you insider knowledge because some of this stuff I don't ask about purposely so I can do a show. But just based on what Jeremy said, this is stuff that's coming in this. It's not like a lot of times they're still producing stuff. I know that for a fact. I can say that they're like still working on parts and pieces for an upcoming line. Because I'm going to get prototypes. I'm going to get stuff that they've printed out. It's not production stuff. But with this, it sounds like there were a lot of pieces for Necronominus, and they decided to pare that down and take those other pieces and put it over here. So these are not done, but they've been created. It's not a matter of like, well, we're still making parts and we'll have to send them over to China to get molds and stuff. Those molds might be already being made at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff could be
already
being
underway.
produced.
Yeah. So this doesn't show the swap. He's got extra feet. This doesn't show the extra feet on here.
Yeah, this has got this got a ton of parts.
Loaded.
Man.
This feels like a deluxe.
Really,
like how Pitorion, I would say of all the $37 figures, if I had to pick one that has the most stuff packed in the box, probably Pitorion. Yeah. I mean, maybe Xenothon just because of the wings or something, but like that's just the wings. Like, but Pitorion has so much stuff. Vorthog is very close behind, and they actually are very similar builds of figures. But this figure is loaded. Not voting for it.
I think here's the thing: if you gotta have him, you gotta have him. But like, you could get this thing for maybe. He's got him for 85 lowest. I'm saying like $75, $80 easily $75 you could get a Vorthog someplace. If you can come to
Yeah.
Legion's Con, you'll get him for this may be a figure that they even have on the table sometimes.
Yeah, this might be on the table Saturday.
For $40. Yeah, for $40. You'll be able to get this. You could trade for this. I know this is again part of that line that they sold a lot of all-ins. This was when, word had already gone out, but like this is when people started, like retailers started buying overly big amounts of these things. Speculators bought a ton of them to hoard. They're out there. You can find them. And I think if you pass on this one right now, unless you absolutely need it, this will come up in another All-Stars because it's a great figure, like Bill and I were saying. Like it's got a ton of stuff. Yeah.
That's a great point. Let me pull up the picture.
He'll be up again. He'll be up again.
This point was made on Jeremy's show. The older figures are dwindling in these votes. They're not going to keep coming back as much. And the newer figures are going to start, reappearing again.
Yep.
So it could be kind of like your last shot to get a Bothar, Clavian, Gorthok, or Ku. Like it could be, this could be the last shot on some of those. They might be retired from this, right? So that's another factor to consider long term. What's going to be out there. So let me come back here and get through the last few of the first 20. So we have that first 20. Actually, let me come back here one more time real quick. So the top area, you select 3. Yep. And then, we just finished the top area. Yeah. So the top area, you select 3. And then there's going to be 3 winners from the top. And then these are ones that already have been reissued, and they're sort of the alumni. So these are a separate category, and you select one, and there will be 1 winner. So there'll be 4 reissues in this wave, presumably. And we'll go through those now, those last 4.
Yeah, because they've never done that before. If it's been reissued for an All-Stars before, it's usually that's it.
Yeah.
It's retired, or it used to be.
All right, so now we're on really to Asterion. I think this is a very competitive, aside from Carpathius, I think the top 3, I think the other 3, I think you can go any direction.
This is a tough, these 4 are tough to pick through. And not for me, rad. But to predict what people are going to pick. Asterion, all these things are pretty. Asterion's one of the top expensive ones. It took me a long time to get this figure, and I wanted this figure because I love Zion's Flock, and he's like her kind of like helped bring her up, so he's a very important character in the mythos. $280 recently sold, and the lowest listed price he's got is $500 for this. So this is a pricey figure.
Yeah.
Tricky paint, you got to airbrush. If you don't airbrush, it's never going to look really quite the same. If you want to make your own,
it fades up into
and even just painting the head too, from like a Torion or something like that would be difficult.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a cool looking figure, man. It's like a classic Minotaur too.
Yes. Yep. So
doesn't come with a lot of stuff.
It's a very big contender. I think Carpathius is probably the outsider of this group. I
think so too.
It's the most recent of the reissue ones. This was All-Stars 2.
Again, it's unfortunate because, these pictures aren't,
No, this is
a shame.
Not doing it justice.
Here, show this one. I don't want to persuade people into doing this, but like he is a cool looking figure, man. I mean, this is the figure that sold me on the vampires, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm all in on vampires. He's great. He doesn't come with a ton, but he's a great looking figure and named figure. But yeah, I think you're right. He's the outsider for sure.
I love the reverse grip pose on this shot.
Yeah.
That's sweet. It like, so a grip like that really demonstrates the strength of a vampire. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's like this subtle posing that just kind of like has a little subtext to it. It's a very nice shot, Trevor.
And you only got to take a skull off of a head, so it's not that much. You don't need that much power.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so then let me come back here. Then we have
So Carpathia is recently sold for 125, lowest listing 180. It's another one of those figures that I don't think is terribly popular. It's more just old and harder to find. It's just not as expensive.
Yeah, and even then it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Iggy.
I think
This
I'm
is a
voting.
paint job.
I'm voting Iggy. This is my vote in the bottom area. And again, this picture's not gonna like really show it. So if you end up finding one of him, this is sweet. This, like we've shown some others that don't have all of those little details painted on the 1.0, the Kickstarter figures. This one does. Like this one's painted everywhere. It's got that reverse. It's got the gold sheeting over the top down in the skirt piece. Like that is such a cool look right there. And of course it's like this pearlescent that just is super unique. I want
all
this
the
one.
rivets
I
and stuff are gold. It's beautiful in person. It looks really, really good. I go grab mine, but it looks great.
So like, I think, Asterion has a chance because it's like character wise, it's like super important. This one I think is like the paint job. It's all about the paint job. And then there's one more. Okay, let me pull you up. Let me hold on. Solo.
Sorry, I don't have like great
light here,
but
oh my God.
man,
it still
just
looks
like
great.
you can see the pearl.
Yep.
Look at the helmet right there where the blue lights hitting it and stuff like that. It's just like, it's gorgeous, man. It's a gorgeous figure. Again, very basic 1.0 figure, but it's beautifully painted. Yeah, and I think this was a tricky paint job too, and I don't know that you're going to see this, out there again. I don't think any of the knights that they did for Necronominus have this, style of paint. So, it's different. And this one, go ahead.
I was going to say, as strong of contenders as Asterion and this is, I think the next one's possibly
this one
favorite to win.
Recently sold for $350. Again, that has to be incomplete or unpackaged. Lowest listed price right now is $850 because he's difficult to find. He's difficult to find for sale. In the box with all the pieces, forget about it. It's $800, man. It's nuts.
Yep. And last but not least,
but yes,
we've got
I think
Pixis,
you're right.
who I think has just as good a shot as anyone. I think there's a couple of reasons why I think Pixis is going to win. One, skeletons always have representation. There's always a lot of skeletons in these. There's always a skeleton on the list. And people love the Mercurian helmet. So, and this is just an awesome paint. This is a later, this wasn't a 1.0 Kickstarter figure. So this was in that range where they were starting to just be a little more detailed, like a little more intricate with the paint work. And it shows, like the armor is awesome. Like this thing is sweet. So I think it's got a shot. I'm not voting for it. But I predict this will win this category.
Yeah, All Stars 4, we had 2 skeletons and a Mercurian. So, this is a skeleton Mercurian. So the odds of this winning are probably pretty good.
All Stars 5, we had a Mercurian and a skeleton. So feels like it could. Although maybe we're oversaturated now. Maybe it's run its course. Maybe people are like, okay, I got my Mercurians, I got my skeletons, but I still think, look at them with. But the thing is with this,
I know, toy bro on it all over the place.
Getting creative. You're gonna say the thing with this?
Yeah, like, go ahead.
No,
you can. With this, like, you can take the body parts from some of the barbarian builders, and you can create, again, your Mercurian prior to being dead from this. You know what I mean? So you can have a couple of different figures. If you want to buy a couple of these, you can have your, live Pixis and your dead Pixis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Totally
I did the
versatile
all
figure.
blue.
I love Skellies. The blue is gorgeous. That's another one I could pull out if I won't.
I
But
want to see if I can
this
find
is a
my.
pretty good representation of it.
I did the all blue. Like I took.
Oh, yeah.
I took what's his name, Dragool's parts, and did the all blue. I can't find it though. I do have a picture to show that really shows off something pretty sweet with Balam.
Oh yeah.
People might remember this one. That is Calavius and Balam. Just to kind of, just to like show off Balam's awesome armor right there. It's pretty sweet.
It's great combo. Great combo.
Pixis.
It's a little blue though.
What's that? Little blue.
Is he really that blue? Yeah, but Pixis is probably my pick, but only because I have Ignatius. Like, if I didn't have that, that's my pick, man, because he is expensive as hell. Again, like you said, he and Pixis are right there in terms of being on the the elderly side of things. So it may be that they don't come up again, except that Pixis is a skeleton and skeletons are popular. But Ignatius, man, you may never see him again. You just may never get a chance to get Ignatius, which is, it's kind of a shame. You know what I mean? His bio, he's up there. You know what I mean? In that faction. So I don't know. My heart says Ignatius, but my head says Ignatius, and my heart says Pixis. So I don't know.
I'm voting Ignatius, but I think Pixis is going to win. But like at the same time, Asterion, like this is a really tough category. Aside from the vampire, I think this could go anyway. But I personally think Pixis is going to win just by popularity. Again,
if I didn't have any of these, I'd probably be going for Asterion.
Yeah,
because he's such a I know that Xylonis Flock is a very popular faction, and he's her right hand man. You know what I mean? And it looks cool. I mean, Minotaurs are cool. It's cool.
Sounds like propaganda to me, says T. Delay.
It's all propaganda, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that, I think that'll do it for the Legions stuff. And I forgot, we haven't done our giveaway yet. May the 4th, everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
We're gonna do our giveaway because I feel like we're gonna have to cut this one a little short. So let's do the giveaway.
Okay.
So, and we're at 1:33. I'm surprised we're 2 hours in almost, and we're at the highest point we've been this whole time.
Awesome.
All right, so
awesome. Hit that like.
So I am giving away. Actually, I shouldn't say we, the contributors, the members, and the super chatters are giving away. I'm gonna pull this off here. And let me go to, I like this. All right, we're doing some Star Wars stuff for May the 4th. And we've got two of these guys. Two of the Shadow, the video game Shadow Troopers. There's a couple different versions of Shadow Troopers, but these are like the not electro, but like translucent Shadow Troopers.
That's Black Series, right? Yeah.
No, these are vintage.
Oh, those are vintage, right?
Yeah.
Nice, even better.
Yep, 375. These are awesome.
I didn't get any of those. Yeah, I didn't get any of those. I should have.
They're great. I can send you one. I have more than these two. And then we've got the Rogue One Vader. So we got a little Imperial army here Vader for the winner. And because I'm not terribly creative, let me pull up the giveaway.
Yes, you are.
With like naming things, I guess I'm not terribly creative. All Stars 6, yeah.
Just MTFBW. Why?
Let's see. Share this. All right, there is our.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
There is our hashtag, May the 4th. And I'll put it up as a banner. Huh?
I know, Vonnie. I was just putting that out there. It's not the actual hashtag.
No, this is the hashtag for the giveaway. We'll let that go while we just talk a couple little Star Wars things, specifically Hot Toys.
Yeah.
I've been so down on Hasbro.
Disappointed.
What's that? Oh, the Hot Toy stuff.
Disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there should be more to come or something because it didn't seem like a lot.
I've heard there is. So eyes on the skies tonight after midnight, most likely.
Right. Okay. So these were so let's start with this one. This was a couple days ago, and this is the first. Wait. So is this the first video game Star Wars figure, or did they do some other ones? Can I zoom on this?
No, they've done Battlefront figures. They did Battlefront snow troopers. I actually have them back
there.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
So there was a pair of troopers from Battlefront.
Yep. So they got the Scout Trooper captain or commander from the new game. Not much to write home about. Just
nah, it's cool looking as a Scout Trooper. I mean, I love the look of the Scout Trooper. I don't feel like I need this. I haven't played the games. I haven't finished Battlefront 2, man. I haven't played my Xbox in 4 years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's cool looking.
Super cut of the cut scenes.
Exactly. But this is a clear, not even a little nod. This is a bonk over the head that Cal Kestis is going to be coming.
Right.
And I have a feeling Cal Kestis will be coming before tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the Scout.
It's a weird thing to lead with if you're going to do Cal Kestis. Hey, we'll just put this Scout Trooper. I realize these are a big part of the game. I think these are a big enemy in the game. A regular enemy in the game, I guess. But Cal Kestis has got to come. Then... Yes, you get the apple, Bonnie. Yeah.
And then the other one we have is Fox. So can I click? How did I do that? Did I? Yeah. And then zoom in. So
a lot of consternation over this because it's a phase 1 instead of a phase 2 helmet.
Okay.
I don't really care because I'm not going to get it anyway. But
yeah, I'm not.
They will that, and they've got him in here with phase 2
phase
troopers,
twos,
which it wouldn't have happened. But
these, because there weren't a lot of. So you have the phase 1 basic shiny clone, and then you have the phase 1 version of the 501st, right?
Right. Yep.
And then phase 1 of Rex too, of course, because he's got the phase 1 helmet.
Yeah.
And
it's odd that they didn't just give him both. Actually, you know why? Because the outfit is completely different for the phase 2. I think on Fox, it's like a totally different paint scheme and everything. So it wouldn't have worked, and people would have complained about that too. So I mean, people are going to complain about anything, but I'm not going that deep on clones. Cody is one thing. Rex is another thing. Fox doesn't mean anything to me, personally.
Yeah, I don't get super deep into the different clones. I know people love their clones and they love all their different characters, but and just for Hot Toys, it's just I can't. Like I've purchased a few Clone Wars things, like Anakin. I love that figure. But I ended up
Ahsoka was great.
Yeah, and I just ended up cutting out the Clone Wars stuff. So I sold those off, and I'm trying to keep to my focus of Mandalorians. My focus is Mandalorian armors, and then a couple iconic OT things.
OT stuff.
I'll do. Like that Luke, that Snowspeeder Luke is just so good. It's on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I need. Like that next to R2 is like this perfect little shelf.
Yep.
Yep. But then other than
that's
that,
the way to go. Yep.
I can't do it. I'm too deep into Legions to really like do it. And then also the Star Trek stuff is like chewing up a ton of my time and budget. And
I mean, talk about deep characters. That's another one where I don't need to go. I don't need to go that deep on.
Yeah.
I mean, I only get the original stuff anyway, the original series, but I get the next generation, but he's not doing the next generation yet, though. So
I know it. He's holding back on these super iconic ones, I think, until he really gets it down. Until he's like firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, he's got a very strange.
I think it is strange, but I also think it makes sense that he's waiting until like he's gonna do the best work, which is like once you get really good at it, like he's gonna save it for.
But he keeps showing like killer Spock sculpts. It's like, okay, yeah,
I get to it.
Yeah, put that on a figure. Give it Spock. Yeah, I want that.
So another Clone Wars 20th.
Yeah.
Like, where's the Return of the? I mean, I know we got 3PO and Vader last.
And this is
month or whatever, but
this is Clone Wars. The movie, right? I mean, it's not. Is it 20 years from the beginning of the cartoon? No, can't be.
Well, the cartoon.
It has to be the Clone Wars, right? The 2D.
No.
It has to be the 2D Clone Wars.
No. 2013 was when the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
started as a movie.
Oh my god, that's 20 years. Yeah, you're right.
Cinemas. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the show came out.
Or wait, no, you're right. 20 years. That was 10 years ago. 20 years ago would have been the cartoon.
Yeah. Right. The 2D cartoon is what.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's 20 years.
I don't know how they intermingle those as being the same thing, because they are not.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess they're playing on the fact that it's the Clone Wars and it's all kind of the same.
Yeah.
And they're taking the 20th anniversary in order to, because 10 years doesn't sound like enough.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
This was in the TV show. This wasn't Palpatine from the movies. From the 2D. What's his face? The guy who did. Whatever.
Yeah.
This looks cool.
It does.
The sculpt, I think, is really nice. Don't think it's 100% perfect, but I'd say it's
what happened today? My
What's up?
I had this in my thumbnail, and I uploaded that thumbnail to Google Photos so that I could share the thumbnail out to, just to get it onto my Instagram. And Google Photos recognized, how it'll be like, is this the same person in the photo? It recognized so Star Wars Trader, top Star Wars Trader, the trading card game. I had an old picture saved on my thing from like 2015. And it recognized Palpatine. It recognized it as the same person. So that's this
is a great likeness, man.
It really is.
Again, it's not quite perfect, but they're playing this weird thing with the Clone Wars stuff, in that they're playing a little bit of a cartoon mixed with reality look. Like I mean, with Anakin, they didn't do that so much, so I don't know if it's purposeful or not, but I think they're trying to nail Ian McDiarmid here, but I don't think they quite got it, but it's damn close. And with the hood on, who cares? He looks great.
Yeah. And then just the silhouette here is very Clone Wars-y.
Is very thin. Yeah, it's just not. It's not the movie Palpatine that we know from either the prequels or the OT. But that's really good.
Damn
man.
good to me.
It's really actually good.
And then, of course,
this battle was killer.
Yeah,
it was great.
So the posability of a figure like this is going to be good for stuff like this.
Hell yeah.
Nothing really would inhibit it from doing these kinds of poses.
It looks great. I don't need it. I have to keep telling myself I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably buy a Palpatine, like an Emperor from Return, but I'm not going to buy this.
Yeah, I have the Empire one, but Is it the Empire one? Yeah, it's the Empire one. I would buy another one because even though I have a custom sculpt, I use that on my shot today. But there's some things about that that could be improved. That even his like robe could be improved. They could really do a better job of that. Hopefully, maybe they'll do another one.
Here's a Billy Beige. There's some days I wake up and realize I'm one day closer to looking like Ian McDermott. Just like you can like
He's a handsome man.
You can sit back in satisfaction to know that Ian McDermott is also getting older too. So,
right. And he still doesn't look as bad as the Emperor.
Oh, we got a question. Where do I put Malefar's tail? I think he has the cover that you can remove from his butt.
Yeah.
Is that right? You can pry the butt cover off. The boom boom cover.
for lack of a better term, yes.
Yeah.
Pry the butt cover off.
I mean, that's as close as we have to an official term, is the boom boom hole.
It is. Boom boom hole. Yeah.
And then Billy Beige is still here,
boom,
so
boom,
we
flap.
definitely have to get to the next thing because he's raging about this.
Okay.
He's raging. Oh, I don't even have the link. Oh my god, I gotta look it up. Hold on. What did I do?
I keep refreshing Hot Toys on Facebook to.
What? How is it not on their main page right now? Wait, where is it? I just saw it. There it is.
Oh, because Super7's a mess.
Latest releases. What? Ultimates. There it is. Click it. Okay. All right, so we got. I'm pumped about this.
Yeah.
I am collecting this line, and I was kind of worried that when they did the throne one, that was maybe going to be the last one because it was just like a single figure and stuff. But yeah, so they have one more wave, and they're reissuing Thulsa Doom. I mean, I know that it's a little bit different, but largely it's the same figure that I think a lot of people missed out on keeping them from it. So yeah, so you got a new wave of that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, even though we're going to cut this off pretty soon, is that, and I don't know the actress's name, but Valeria, Billy Beige, has blue eyes on the figure, but apparently she has brown eyes in real life. So get out your pitchforks, everybody, and make sure you let Super7 know to change the eyes brown. I will say this about Super7. How
hard is that to figure out? Come on.
What's that?
How hard is that to figure out? Come on.
That's true. That's kind of ridiculous.
Got to be tons of pictures of this woman's eyes.
Yeah, I don't know why they would mess that up. It seems like just a weird.
I mean, costuming is one thing, but eye color, come on.
Or maybe they're just trolling, specifically trolling Billy Beige. They're just like,
right.
We're gonna give her blue eyes to make Billy mad. But yeah,
maybe it's because the photographer uses blue light in this.
Even Mezco
studio,
fixed. They fixed their Conan when they showed it with brown eyes, and they fixed it to have blue eyes. The other thing I wanted to mention, and these aren't as good, but they're showing the Star Trek figures now. I mean, like this looks better than they used to, right?
Yeah.
And they're obviously renders, but
yeah.
Like the Star Trek figures, can we see the new wave of the Star Trek figures? Like, what the hell just happened there? I hate this site.
I don't know. That's the worst.
Like, if they pull this off, this is a game changer for Super7. Like,
except his eyes aren't hazel. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Like, these are way better than anything I've ever seen. I know this is just a render.
That's a render.
If they're confident enough to like show a render like this, they must have something up their sleeve in terms of like improvement, because everything has been, even the renders have been pretty bad.
Experienced Super7 in the past in terms of renders?
Even their renders have been really bad in the past. Like they've never had anything that has shown me a head sculpt that tells me it looks like the actor.
So you're saying they're improving their renders?
Yeah, I guess so.
At least.
I've heard that they're going to be doing the printing though too.
I hope so.
So I don't know, but whatever.
I know they
My
moved to a
point
new
isn't-
factory after that whole Silverhawks thing, right? So
my point isn't that I'm going to go buy this figure based on the render. It's
right.
if they can start improving these head sculpts.
hmm
I mean, at least they've got the sculptures better now.
Very nice. It's really good.
Then it might be something for human characters that I might get into more. And I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with like these being kind of stylized because they've always felt like that just because they're on the Masters of the Universe Classics buck.
Yeah.
So I've always been kind of in on this line, even though the faces look nothing like the actors. But
And
like,
it's all a little over the top anyway. Conan was, very over the top, whereas Star Trek's a little more heady and serious. And so I like, what else do they have for Star Trek? I didn't even see the rest of those.
Oh, that wave. So this is wave 2 of Star Trek. So they got Worf, Picard.
Oh, they already have a wave out?
Guinan.
I don't even know.
They have a wave up for pre-order. This is wave 2, and there's 2 up for pre-order now. The first wave, it's got Data, Riker.
So it's all next generation.
Borg? I can't remember everything that's in it. Yeah, it's all TNG so far. Yeah.
You know what I say? Make it so. And make me original Star Trek, because I buy good original Star Trek figures, man. Like the McFarlane thing sucked, and like I don't know. I would like that.
I saw the
buy
new
a couple of
Playmates
little
ones. I went to someone's house, and in person they looked decent for cheap little $10. Are they $10?
Yeah, I just don't want. Those are like 5-point, right, or something like that, or do they have like 7 points or something?
They're like like probably close to vintage collection articulation, or
they're like the old Galoob ones, wasn't it? Galoob, or who was it? Who put those out?
They're the old Playmates ones, but the new ones have modern.
Oh, they were Playmate? Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
How's that Worf head? Let's see. How's that Worf head? Let me see.
You don't want to find out, Bill. So annoying. It looks pretty good too. Damn.
Not bad.
That's good, man.
He's such a stiff.
Yeah, the thing I would like about these,
this buck is okay for Worf, but
the
buck isn't. I'm not a huge fan of the body, the shape.
No,
but for Worf, it kind of makes sense because he's always so stiff.
Articulation is just not their thing either, though. It's just not.
No.
But I would love to have I really wish, like Mezco had followed through or did this the next generation, because then actually having an Enterprise bridge would be a possibility. You know what I mean? Like just the 1/6 bridge is not happening.
No.
So
no.
I would love to have that. I would love 1/18 scale, like vintage collection would be cool. Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think the Playmates thing is kind of appealing that way. But yeah, I did order the Enterprise E. Yeah, the Enterprise E chair, 6 scale. I ordered that. It should be dropping soon, actually. Alrighty. Is that it? Is that everything? Whoops. Hold on.
Yeah, we've ended May the 4th with Star Trek. Way to go. Way to go, Bill.
Well, it's funny. I was going to say, because Super7 had a sale today on their reaction Star Trek stuff. And they sent out an email that said, "Happy May the 4th, buy some Star Trek figures." So there's like a whole Star Trek subculture of like May the 4th.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I know. Live long and prosper people out there, which I think is hilarious. I love it. Okay. I think that's everything. Let me just check one more time. Did I want to share this?
Checking Hot Toys every half an hour. Nothing.
Oh, I did want. Okay, we are ending on Star Wars. Okay, I'm going to share this. Hang on.
All right. Okay.
Present. That. Because Aaron Page absolutely destroyed this custom in the best way. Oh, we got to give away the figure too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me show this, and then we'll do the giveaway, and then we'll cut it out. So this is nuts. Look at this. Darth Revan. Can I zoom in on this?
Oh, yeah.
Why can't I zoom?
Nice.
This way?
There you go.
No.
Yeah, hit the arrows on the corner there.
Oh, this.
No. Oh, what happened? What the hell just happened?
It wants me to close my chats.
You can't see them.
I
hate Facebook so much. It doesn't work ever. There you go.
Look at this Revan.
Nice.
Mythic Legions Revan.
Yeah, that's great.
This is sick. And
Perfect.
like really intricate little cloth good stuff going on.
Yeah, I like the way he
That's
took
awesome.
the pieces out of the belt and ran
put the hole
cloth
through.
there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
let's
cool.
do the giveaway. I'm terrible at this.
Love it.
Where the hell is it?
I was happy to get a May the 4th shout out today. It was touch and go. All the other stuff I got going on. So a lot of
We only
good
have
Mythic
13
Legion Star
entries?
Wars customs.
Is this right?
13?
Hold on a second.
People, what are you
everybody.
doing?
I might have screwed it up. Okay. Start putting your entries in again because I might have screwed it up. It's only showing 13.
I don't see many people putting it in. Oh, wait.
But it's been a while.
Back here they did.
Yeah, there was more than
No,
13.
yeah, back. Okay, yeah.
Okay, everybody put May the 4th again. I apologize. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't collecting them. I might have skipped away from the thing and then reloaded it. May the 4th, everybody. Let's get those entries in. We got 122 people watching. Let's get at least 70 entries. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of people putting the right hashtag in too.
Yep. Apologies. I don't know what happened
That's
there.
weird. I've never seen that before. I would have thought that it would just kept collecting them no matter what.
I think I might have clicked away from it and it
Okay.
stopped collecting at that point, and then coming back, it started again or something.
Gotcha.
Which is weird that it wouldn't just run in the background, but I guess 43. Let's go, people. 45. Come on. Let's get to 80.
Let's go.
Again, we're giving away a Vader, Rogue One Vader, and then 2 Shadow Troopers from Force Unleashed. The like transparent parts. It's an awesome figure. I wish I had one out here to show, but
Yeah, that Vader. Oh, I got one. Hang on a second.
this guy.
Oh, this is the that guy? Oh yeah, he's
Yeah, I was just showing him.
the Vader. I got go get the Harker Customs cape too if you get this Vader.
Yeah, I got that on mine. Do I have
Because it's
that on mine?
fantastic,
Yeah, I do.
man. It's just like an amazing figure.
Yeah, it is.
Probably it's like one of the best small, better than the Black Series. It's the best Vader out there, man. It's
I
great.
think
That's all I have to-
I think the new one from the Obi-Wan show is a little bit better. It's got some more advanced articulation, but they're pretty similar.
Oh yeah.
Larry's hacker is loose.
I thought this one-
50. Here we go. Let's go, people. Come on, last call. Remember, it got screwed up earlier, so if you put it in earlier, it might not
Put it in
register
again.
your vote. So put it in again. And it's not going to count you twice or anything. It just takes 1 per person. And we're going to spin it very soon. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I mean, we're over 2 hours in, and we still got 130 people here, so that's awesome. Huge shout out to the new members. We got like half a dozen or more new members today who joined. Lots of super chats, super generous of everybody, and that these giveaways are, possible because of those
Steve.
super chats members.
Steve Wegling says Larry's hacker must be loose.
Nice.
That's what happened to the.
I hope he's okay triaging all the messages.
That is a nightmare. I mean, I do,
Yep.
2-factor authentication on everything, man. I'm like a nut about that stuff,
Yeah.
but that freaks me out all the time. I almost got caught in one, like somebody texted me the other day, and like I get stuff from all over the world, and I've been getting like one of these every day that's like, oh, there's a piece of mail that needs to be authorized to be delivered, click here. And of course it's BS. But every day I'm getting one of those, and it's from something else. It's UPS, it's FedEx, it's USPS. It's crazy.
Rabbit's Den says, love the All-Star 6 vote coverage. Rabbit Den being one of the official retailers of Mythic Legions. So definitely an option for you out there. If you want to pick them up, go check out Rabbit's Den collectibles.
Sean, you may, if you're on, oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Yeah, that's how I was going to bring that up. Yeah. You may want to have to do it from a desktop if you're on iPhone, because iPhone just doesn't give you the option to join from.
Yeah. Or try to open it in your browser instead of your app. Or
that. Yeah.
Tricky. Speaking of retailers, we should also mention Wolf King Customs is now an official Four Horsemen retailer. Right. So another great option for buying figures. Oh, it's a different Rabbit's Den.
Oh,
okay. It's not Rabbit's Den collectibles? Wait. Oh.
I thought so. Okay.
Might be a different Rabbit's Den. Okay. Are you a store? Why does Rabbit's Den collectibles sound like a store to me?
It does.
Are you a store but don't sell Legions?
You got to be careful which Rabbit's Den you go into.
Okay. Sandal Bergman. That's the name of the actress that I wasn't able to pull from my memory. Apologies.
I actually went to watch Conan the Barbarian the other day, and I figured for sure this is on something, right? That I can just pull up. I got everything.
It's not streaming anywhere?
It's not streaming anywhere. You got to buy it for like $15-$16. I'm like,
not a bad purchase.
Nah. I'll wait. The second one, the sequel is, but I can't watch that.
Okay, not a store, just a line.
And the new one is free. Okay.
Oh, you got a Commander Wolf? Trevor, can you try to pull that up while I do the drawing?
Let me see if I
can Rob Zamora posted a Legions Commander Wolf. Sweet. I need to see this. So only Destroyer is streaming, yeah. Conan was my first DVD. It wasn't a VHS. All right, we're going to spin it. Okay, we got 57. That's pretty good. That's pretty good considering it's late in the game and we had a screw up.
Oh, yeah, this is cool. Look at this.
Vader and the Troopers.
There you
go. Ooh. What is that head? Yeah, zoom in on that. Wow.
I don't know what that is.
That's pretty sweet.
The whole thing with this wolf head and everything too. I don't know what those pieces are. I don't know what any of these pieces are.
That's sick.
Looks great.
I like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Is that cloth on the arms and legs?
Yeah.
That's sweet. I like that.
Cloth everywhere.
That's nice.
Very nice. Very cool.
Okay, so not much of Legions, but a custom. Yeah, still, that's awesome. Okay, 58 entries. We're going to spin in 3, 2, 1, go! Let's see who's going to win. Who's going to win? Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Joe? No. David Rodriguez Jr. Congratulations, David.
Nice.
I hope you're still here because we started this thing like an hour ago.
Yeah, really.
So please either send me an email at podcast@dorklair.com, or if you're familiar with me on socials, message me. As soon as you message me, it should be by the next day. I'll have it out. Usually people get that to me like right now, tonight, and then I usually get it out the next day. So congratulations, David. You won some Star Wars Vintage Collection figures, an awesome line. And thank you for supporting the DORKLAIR. And thank you, everybody, for entering the giveaway, and especially the Super Chats and the members who make the giveaways possible. That is just like so awesome and generous of everybody. Yeah, there you go. David, shoot me an email down in the description below, podcast@dorklair.com. I will get these out to you tomorrow or Saturday. Congrats, dude. All right.
Yes, Ignatius and Clavian.
And
Clavian.
Down. Okay. That'll do it for us today. Let's see. Thank you. Let's pull this down. Hey, Trevor, thanks for filling in for Chris. What do you got going on, man?
Always fun, man. What have I got going on? I've got a shot up for May the 4th on go hit that like, go like it, just like it. It's not performing very well. I don't know why. I Instagram lately. It's probably because I don't post anything but Mythic Legions and only every other week. So
that shot is awesome, dude. I love it. Can we pull it up?
Yeah, I got it down there if you want to.
Oh, you got it right there. Okay, here it is.
I think I got it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, finally got
Especially
some hot
like
toys
right
out.
after seeing Jedi like a couple days ago.
I know. I actually watched this scene like about 16 times just to kind of like get some different like angles and the lighting and stuff like that. But
Vader's like
the custom Palpatine. Yeah, is it like you can't get him to look down much more than that either, too. He just kind of. But that's when you watch him in scenes, he just does that. He just kind of like your eyes make his eyes like. Yeah, he's looking at him. Okay.
Yeah, and he's just like sort of turning like
Yeah. Yeah, custom Palpatine sculpt and a custom Luke Skywalker, complete custom Luke Skywalker here actually. So go hit that. Just like it. If you want to leave a comment, that's fine. The only other thing I got going on is I'm going to be on Mr. Allen in the World of Toys on Saturday for a big, huge celebration of 4 million views. I think it's 4 million views, or it's probably 5 million by now.
I know. It was up
there. But or it will be next week. I don't even know who else is going to be on the show, but I guess we're going to be talking about what did he say? Is it kind of like photography or I think art in terms of probably relating to Legions or at least figures and stuff like that. So I don't know who else is going to be on with me. It's kind of I didn't even ask him because I kind of want it to be a surprise. So we'll see. Tune in. I think that's 9 p.m. Shoot, I should know this offhand, but I don't.
It was for me last week. It was 9, so it's probably 9 o'clock.
It's 9 p.m.
time.
9 p.m. Saturday. Yep.
I had such a good time.
We'll be doing another
show last week.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's great one-on-one. Other than that, watch the skies and for Hot Toys, Mythic Legions, whatever, and Legions Lounge in another week from Monday. So that's it.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for us tonight. We'll be back. We might do a live next week, but we'll definitely be back for the podcast the following week. And until next time, may the Force be with you.